On this farm, we find Abdul. He's survived 3 years of work. He's just 10. He earns no wages for his work, he says, just food, the occasional tip from the owner, and the torn clothes on his back. Put in the simplest of terms, Abdul is a child slave. We move away from the group so he can speak more freely, and through our translator, he tells us his story.
If he had a choice, he wouldn't work.
Abdul says he's from neighboring Burkina Faso. When his father died, he says, a stranger brought him to Ivory Coast. Abdul has never eaten chocolate. Tells us he doesn't even know what cocoa is for. We met Yaku on the same farm, also from Burkina Faso. My mother brought me when my father died, he tells me. Yaku insists he's 16, but he looks much younger. His legs bear machete scars from hours clearing the bush. The emotional scars seem much deeper. I wish I could just go to school, he says, to learn to read and write. But Yaku says he's never spent a day in school.
Tick if the following apply to you. Has your passport or ID been confiscated by your employer? Are you accompanied wherever you go? Does someone always answer questions on your behalf? Are you forced to live and work in the same place? Are you bullied or shouted at? Are you physically abused? Does your employer make sexual advances? Are you denied adequate food, denied appropriate clothing, medical care, time off, sleep? Do your wages go to repaying an impossibly large debt? If you answered yes to some or all of these questions, you may be one of a not-so-exclusive club. You're a slave. No one knows exactly how many slaves there are today, but a global slavery index by Walk Free Foundation puts the figure at around 30 million. The scourge exists in every country, but 10 nations alone account for 3/4 of the world's slaves. Almost half are in India, where slavery ranges from bonded labor in garment factories to commercial sex exploitation. Next comes China, followed by Pakistan, Nigeria, Ethiopia, Russia, Thailand, Democratic Republic of Congo, Myanmar, and Bangladesh. Many of the enslaved are trafficked into prostitution, but far more are forced into manual labor or domestic servitude. They work in mines and factories, on ships, farms, and building sites, in hotels and private homes. Slavery is all around us. It's been linked to the supply chains of many everyday products, from shoes and bags to matches and soccer balls. It lurks in the commodities that fuel the global economy: cocoa, coffee, precious metals. Multinational supply chains are sometimes so convoluted and opaque that it's hard to pinpoint the agent or subcontractor using slave labor. From frozen shrimp to mobile phones, how can we be sure the products we buy weren't produced through human misery? What can businesses and consumers do to guarantee the things in our lives are genuinely slave-free?
So many children now suffering in this world. What can we do? What can we say, my Lord, to make a change in this world we see? What can we do, my Lord, to set the children free? He said, defend the cause of the poor and the weak. Be a voice for them, fall on your knees. Say a prayer for them, call my name. As you do my will, you see change. So I got my banner, I I know the cause, so many enemies, but I fear them not. Let me be the voice now for you. Let me be that bold voice of truth. After many days of speaking for the children, someone came to me and told me they stood for them. They heard my voice, saw the disease, all the children suffering from the greed, and boycotted those who'd seek to harm them. And they said to all, defend the cause of the poor and the weak. Be a voice for them, fall on your knees. Say a prayer for them, call on his name. As you do his will, you'll see change. You will 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 see